All right, we're back. We're going to go ahead and check this access code. See if we can get this information. I appealed to the machine spirit to open Logus Abel's personal archive as well. He's accepted my request. Let's go to the private archive. Since I cannot see the secret design, but I can sense it, shackled in stasis, the minds of the initiated are slumbering in the neural harness of their vows. I'm registering an impulse of change. I surmise a potential influence on the stasis of the secret design. There came a time when the spiral was tuned or turned into a circle, but the circle can be discontinued. The revelation granted by the Omniscience to the Lotus Abel in the course of his data meditation has been recorded verbatim. Lotus Abel is seeking an audience with the Venerable Dar Impulse 6, who may assist in interpreting the revelation. A request has been sent to the governor's palace for a shuttle flight to the electrodynamic cenobium. A message has also been sent to Furbundus system. The cycle can be discontinued. I recognize the words. The voice from the Vox is soft and pensive, barely audible over the static noises. I believe I know the intended recipient of the message in the Furbundus system. It was me. Omniscience, grant me the wisdom to fathom this mystery. Upon Lotus Abel's orders, the archives of every Arger station on Riker Minoris and the two primary satellites of Riker Star has been queried. Said satellites are named Magos, Maruf, and Zerfari, the King, after two great champions of faith whose external cognitators were placed inside the satellite's core after their shells perished. The purpose of the sacred computation requested by the Lotus is to uncover the external influence behind the ongoing insurgency. Computation result positive. Multiple instances of interference and malfunction detected, suggesting that the ships moving across the system deliberately blinded the sacred augurs. The first of these ships is thought to have arrived two Rykad minor cycles ago. Early in the winter, the most recent one arrived a month ago. Lotus Abel's conclusion: the insurrection on the planet had been long in the making with the participation of external actors. It is alleged that the two cycles of Aurora arrived in Rykad's system, the rumored unholy prophet of the insurgents. The subsequent ships' movements can be attributed to weapons delivery. But what is the nature of the activity near Rykad Philia? It's like Philly. Governor Medina's attention must be drawn to. The final entry cuts off abruptly. The satellite Magos Maruf reports that the ship's signal has been broadcast through the system. Its signature is consistent with the records of the flagship of a rogue trader dynasty, House von Valesius. So what are they saying? Satellite Zafari, the King reports that the ship drifting nearby has sped away. The ship has sent an encrypted Vox transmission to the insurgent-controlled areas of the surface of Rykad Minoris. Another transmission was directed to planetoid Rykadi Philia. Both transmissions were signed Brother Twilight. Their contents could not be decrypted. The entry contains planet-side coordinates marked as Heavy Augur Station Jammy, possible a hidden insurgent base. Alright, let's move around.
Know your duty.
These heavy chains are used to adjust the height of the command platform. That's all that is. Alright, we out. Everybody on some BS in here.
Let Let us walk this path to the end.
Watching the lazy handle sacred technology breaks my heart. Figuratively speaking.
Look no further. Let me help.
Your aid will not be forgotten.
Oh, that was our last med kit right there. We tried to use it. Didn't work.
The Divine watches over us.
So we're going back to the ship. Hopefully this will clear everybody's injuries and stuff, and then we'll start moving around and see where we got to find this monastery and everything at. See, it's here. What's here? We still can't upgrade anything. Alright, we're still here on this freaking thing, but I need to look at the... Let's go here real quick. Trading. Does the rogue trader wish to buy or sell? Can we sell? Show tradable. Let's trade. Let's see, trading. Show tradable. Clear selection. Show tradable. Trade. Alright, so we good now. We can get some stuff. We can get like... We need a power maul. Yo, that's serious. Show tradable. All right, let's get out of here. Not sure. All right, we out. Once we go to the bridge, then we'll head back out. I don't know if I did the trading stuff right, but we had to get some stuff traded out. And then all this stuff is gonna go to the freaking all this stuff's gonna go to the cargo. Like this. We got all these add to cargo. $11 to $15. all these weapons is gone. Alright, that's good. Now we gotta upgrade her. She's got to go like 3 ranks. Everybody's leveled up now. What's our reputation? Total value is 14. Available initial. Obligated the governor of Rycat system to provide resources and people to the crew. Yeah. How do we lose 1? All right, we out then. Let me go talk to my girl real quick. Where's she at? Let me go talk to old Cassie real fast. See what she talking about. Oh, we going the wrong way. Gotta go this way. She's down here. She probably still over there trying to read some books.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations.
Huh. Let's see, tell me about yourself.
I am a part of House Orselio, an ancient dynasty of the Navis nobility. Since time immemorial, our family has served to advance knowledge, pushing at the boundaries of the dark unknown. The Starway Atlas contains 2,843 routes that chart the sectors of the Segmentum Obscurus and reach all the way from the Coronis Expanse to Holy Terra.
All right, let's see.
You will? That would be most appreciated, Lord Captain.
Let's see. What does it feel like, the god of vessel? Let's see, so you never lived anywhere other than Iraq 5.
Hardly. According to the chronicles of the house, I was born on one of the Orselio worlds. Oh, what was it? Please forgive me, Lord Captain. My childhood memories are too vague. Sometimes I dream about the colorful birds that built their nests in the garden, or the servants dressed in purple livery, or the blue fog that rolled over the lowlands behind the palace. But everything is covered in a rosy haze. Perhaps it is my imagination, not my memory, that is painting these pictures.
Tell me about your life on the station.
My stay on the station was wholly dedicated to preparing me for my future duty. Astromancy, astrography, numerology, the histories of my house and the Imperium, as well as other disciplines. For many years, dozens of instructors tirelessly prepared me for my destiny. and once a year, Great Regent Alronto would come to the station. He would entrust his beautiful vessel to my command, so that I could master the practical aspects of our art as well.
Did you have friends, someone you could turn to for a simple conversation, not a discussion? Nah. We can get that out of her. Let's go ahead and ask her anyway.
The Regent gave me a bird from a sunlit planet once. I tried to befriend it and make it sing, but for some reason, it refused and died soon after. The instructors were too respectful of my duty to my house to waste precious time on idle chatter. Aside from them, there were only servants on the station, and you know they have their vocal cords removed, so they cannot break their vow of silence.
Oh, wonderful.
And since the subject has been breached, Lord Captain, why do you not follow this honored tradition? Your decks are so garish. Apologies, I meant noisy. The rabble don't just chatter. Sometimes they shout and even sing. Why do you allow such a lack of restraint? Rogue traders are highborn, are they not?
A ruler cannot maim people just because it is in his power to do so. On the contrary, it's the duty of every ruler to look after his subjects. You may find it difficult to believe, but the practice of depriving servants of their voice is not particularly widespread outside of House Roselio. Let's see. A ruler, I can say, I like the noise people make here. It fills the ship with life.
With life? Ugh, if only you could take my place and watch this kaleidoscope. Every voice is a flash of color. Every conversation a shimmering glow. Every argument is an unstoppable swirl of gaudy splotches.
What does it feel like to guide a vessel through the warp?
It may be difficult to describe. You see, every navigator perceives the warp differently. My mentor, Great Regent Alronto, always described his travels through the Immaterium as a journey through a vast wood with countless paths. And I, assisting him in the first voyages, futilely tried to follow his example. But the wood would not reveal itself to me. But everything changed when I found my own key to this mystery. You see, I've always brightened up my rare moments of leisure time by painting. You may recall there was a workshop in my chambers. As soon as I imagined the warp as a blank canvas, an indescribable feeling came over me. I moved the brush, going deeper and deeper into my own painting. Visions were hidden within the vibrant colors of my palette, and something inside me knew which should be brought out and which should be left behind. I woke up several days later, after the voyage was safely complete.
All right. Let's talk about something else.
You will hear no objection from me, Lord Captain.
Now we're going to turn. Let's talk about us.
Right here? Are you sure?
Lucy, let us discuss other things.
Of course. Let us turn from personal matters to more pressing concerns.
Okay.
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Oh, you're welcome. Let me see, where the rest of the team at? What they talking about? Argenta, what you on?
Greetings.
Thank you for this conversation. I think the only person I haven't spoke to at length is do you know anything about the ship named Fiery Reckoning? I've heard the name, that much I'm sure, but I can't recall the details. I wonder if it was part of that operation that the late Mort was put in charge of. If it was, then there's nothing I can tell you. The whole thing was kept under wraps. Your best chance would be to ask High Factorum. Maybe some of his treasury records mention this Fiery Reckoning. That I am born in the helmsman clan in the bowels of a Chartist vessel. Studied the family trade until I was 15. Then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by lower hold scum. They spared the youngins. Of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. But I was having none of it. They weren't going to make me a servitor out of me. So I escaped into the crawlways. And then I spent months picking them off, one after the other. You got me talking up a storm anyway. Yes, I'm a voidborn. Okay. Indeed. Finish your story. Not much to tell. I gutted everyone I could get to. And then I fled upward into the middle decks. That's where the auger operators took me under their wing. They have apprentice helmsmen of their own up there, you see. Nobody asked me any questions, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, and got smarter. Then ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Danrock spotted me and lured me away, the cheeky blighter. I can see you're not a gregarious sort. I've done something to displease the Lord Captain. Nope. Did I mishear you? Or are you giving the rogue trader cheek? Answer me, Void, right? No. I'm merely sharing an observation. On the contrary, you're the first person on the bridge who's not tripping over themselves to lick my boots. Huh. I'm merely sharing an observation. Right, you are. It's not hard to see that I'm in a foul mood. I'm not the only one to blame for it, you know. Connecting wires, once they got into the control panel, I become one of the ships, except the bloody cogs messed up the wire stimulus injectors and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It just doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and a splitting headache. So you'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles. Alright, I'm taking my leave, bro. I ain't get nothing out of you. We gotta go talk to this dude over here. This Danrock, to see if they got any, if he knows anything about this ship. Let's see, Rami, what is it? Let's see. I would like to order the shipping and transportation of some goods. Let's see what this says. Choose the merchant to trade. Oh, I could have Thunderfang. My boys will fetch you anything your heart desires. Oh, I don't need anything. Now let's get out of there. Let's see, inform me about a problem with the servitors. What happened? You see, your lordship, the ship servitors have been malfunctioning of late. They violate protocols, interrupt their tasks, observe crew members for long periods of time, and move erratically with no meaning or purpose. Had it been a routine technical fault, I would have decided the fate of the servers myself, but I deemed it necessary to notify you. I do not wish to hide such irregularities from the Lord Captain. If you wish to observe the servers' unusual behavior before you decide their fate, this can be arranged. The majority of the defective units have been delivered to one of the storage compartments pending your decision. Pascal expressed a desire to be present during the inspection should it be carried out. I suppose the expertise of the esteemed Magos may come in handy. Alright, I wish to take a look at these servitors before deciding their fate. Just dispose of the defective equipment without me. Let's take a look at them. As you wish, your lordship. Would you like the engineer prime to accompany? Yeah. As your lordship commands. Alright, when his lordship arrived at the scene, he found the servitors in the same position that they assumed after they had been corralled into the bay, all standing in a long, spiraling line and facing the center of their strange formation. The moment his lordship crossed the threshold of the bay gate, their bodies jerked into motion. All as one, as if obeying a command. The servitors turned to face the Lord Captain. The technomats tasked with overseeing the defective units even reached for their weapons. But then, the servitors went still just as abruptly, staring at his lordship with vacant eyes. Let's see. Gestured for his engineer Prime to study the servitors. The engineer Prime slowly waded into the motionless ranks of the servitors, peering into their faces and checking their readings. There was no haste in Pascal's actions. With mesmerizing diligence, he inspected every single unit in his path, and by heroic prayers or in his companions in his investigation, the examination confirmed the technomats' initial hypothesis. The servitors' souls, or rather, the souls of the people they once were, had awakened. Not yet fully conscious of their past and present, these half-machines could nonetheless feel primitive emotion and sensations such as fear and pain. This undesirable consequence of shoddily performed lobotomy is most rarely observed, and yet, for some unknown reason, it has occurred in every single one of the servitors gathered in the bay. All present held their breath, disturbed by this sight. We waited for the Lord Captain to speak. Alright, let's see. Demanded a report and the status. Let's do this. Took several steps toward the servitors. Immediately, the servitors, each and every one of them, stepped toward the Lord Captain in perfection unison. They mimicked his movements with frightening precision. The rogue trader halted in place, and after a moment thought, waved his hand, and the servitors just as synchronously repeated that gesture as well. When the Lord Captain turned quizzically to the technomats, so did the servitors, as if mocking him. Whatever the Lord Captain did, be it incline of the head, a wave of a hand, or a step to the side, the defective units repeated it without a moment's delay or hesitation, like grotesque marionettes controlled by an unseen puppeteer. We observed this mime unfold in distressed bafflement for nearly a minute, until the servitors finally came to a stop. Not sensing any threat from them, the rogue trader approached with confidence. The Lord Captain examined the servitors. As High Factorum, it was I who had prompted the entire inspection, and thus it was my duty to follow the Lord Captain as we stepped closer. We noticed a fascinating irregularity. Man, I'm getting stuck on that word. Irregularity. The servitors' pupils, normally still, were shaking wildly. Their bulging veins were pulsating under the copper collars inscribed with their past offenses. It was as if those mindless half-machines were locked in a perpetual state of extreme tension. A visibly shaken technomat behind us proposed that the human souls had awakened within the servitor body after a long slumber deep within their lobotomized brains. Formerly bereft of intelligence, they had attained awareness, feeling, and understanding. After a pause, the technomat added that the servitors used to function properly and that no one had been able to explain the change in their behavior. His gaze still trained on the motionless but animate half-machines and half-people. The Lord Captain stepped away. Alright. All present held their breath, disturbed by the sight. We waited for the Lord Captain to speak. His Lord Deacon Von Valacius, what do we say, demanded a report. Long-winded and detailed report could have been summarized in a single key point. Despite the servitors' abnormal behavior, they were still quite capable of carrying out tasks, and therefore the circumstances did not call for their termination. All present held their breaths. Okay, what are we going to say? Ordered that one of the servitors be disassembled and its components investigated. Ordered that one. Yeah. A group of technomats hurried to act upon the Lord Captain's command. The servitor's mechanical parts separated with the clicks, snaps, and hisses. The sutures between its wrinkles, pale flesh, and its augments were laid disgustingly bare. We watched the technomats do their work and could see every centimeter of the servitor's stiff muscles abounding with the valves and the cavities. Perceived the disassembly and this analysis complete, the technomats concurred. The unit was in working order. Nothing in the dissected body that lay before us could provide any insight into the reason behind the defects. Should make note one more thing. At the moment, all of us present discovered that not just the eyes, but the hands and heads of some of the servitors were now shaking too. It was as if the mechanized servants were overcome with some primordial terror. Alright, Termi, you're going to announce this decision. To send the servitors back to the toil as they had toiled before, for they had not yet paid their dues. On the Lord Captain's orders, the servitors were returned to the same decks where they had worked before. The crew was initially unnerved by their presence, but adapted to their quirks soon enough, especially since, following the incident in question, there was a noticeable reduction in the servitors' strange behavior. With the fate of the defective servitors decided, nothing could now distract the Lord Captain from his mission. Alright, we got 3+ on that. But we still gotta talk to you, bro. Remind me, what is it? No. Have you ever heard of this ship? I'm afraid it is not immediately familiar to me, your lordship. Please allow me a moment. He says, I say, House von Valesius did indeed sign a contract with the owners of a vessel with the designation Fiery Reckoning. There are transactions records of the ship picking up cargo from Kaiva Gamma. Well, this is odd. The data log ends there. Apparently the ship had some interactions with one of the work ships on your industrial world. I beg your pardon, your lordship, but that is the extent of the assistance I can provide you in regard to this particular matter. I would like to replace her portrait. It will be done, your lordship. Yeah, get that. I shall await your instructions. Alright, let's see. Let's go to my quarters real quick. Where's it at? It's back here. Greetings, bro. I'm not sure what's in here though. Last time I came here, there was like some stuff to pick up. What the hell is that noise? I'm not sure what goes in the vault, man. Alright, we gotta get out of here. I hear something, but I don't know what the hell it is. Oh, they changed it up. Good. We good now. Let's get out of here. Told them to get that nonsense off my wall. Examine the data on the command center cognitators. All right. Let's go. The bunker. Let's go here. We're gonna take the same crew. I think I only take her because she gives us extra moves. We'll go like this. She doesn't really fight that much, but she gives us like extra moves for our people to fight. So that's gonna have to work.
Data meditation is terminated.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
We'll cover the landing area, your lordship. Glory to Von Valencia's dynasty.
The premonition runs true.
Alright, we're just gonna move around. Let's go. Alright, let's go in. The electrodynamic Cenobium.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Were killed swiftly and ruthlessly. They shall have had time to reach for their weapons. Let's see. Let's go see what we got here. You note that the wire junctions are often marked with a symbol of a key that appears to connect two lines.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Oh, we're gonna catch him doing some other nonsense.
I'm not satisfied with that answer. I will repeat my question again.
The
last
freaking Inquisitor.
psychiatrist you killed, where did you find him?
Burn in the fire of dawn, servant of the god!
And another one meets the limit of his utility. The last of them.
The tall, dark-haired man sizes you up with a quick glance. A supernatural chill is making the air around him crackle softly. The expensive fabric of his jacket is stitched with gold thread and marked by several reddish-brown stains. A foresword and a vox hang from his belt, and the emblem of the Holy Inquisition glitters on his chest. You try to focus on the man in front of you, but you cannot shake the image of a deadly torture he inflicted on his victim. Your pulse quickens, blood pounding in your ears, and sweat beating on your skin. Isn't this the chap we're supposed to find for the Lord Inquisitor? Interrogator Van Kalo, I presume.
Yes. Since you know who I am, and are in no hurry to kill me, I infer that you serve the Emperor, not his enemies. Allow me to introduce myself. Interrogator Heinrichs van Kalox of the Imperial Inquisition's esteemed Ordo Xenos. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Shadow. A great big sun-eclipsing, chain-weaving shadow. I can see the threads, myriads of them extending toward us all, and all of them creeping off toward him like snakes, shrouding us in poison. My, oh my, do I sense trouble, and it's right in my throat. It itches.
What the hell?
A psyker. Interesting. And a diviner at that. Even more interesting. Are you sanctioned?
Don't you Inquisition me! I'm under the Rogue Trader's protection!
Pay no attention. She talks all kinds of nonsense. Is a member of my personal retinue and is under my protection.
Your retinue, you say? Then let's go back to my previous question. With whom do I have the honor of speaking? Von Valancius. To the best of my knowledge, that dynasty is headed by the esteemed Theodora von Valancius.
No.
Has there been a change of circumstances?
Yeah, I see you take no end of pleasure in your job. I barely introduced myself and I'm already being grilled. Let's see. She's dead, slain in battle by enemies of humanity. Can this conversation wait for a better time? I'm here on the Lord Inquisitor's orders to see his acolytes safe and timely arrival on football.
The news is lamentable. My condolences. And I presume the heir to the sacred warrant of trade and the lofty title of Rogue Trader is none other than yourself. Well then, what precisely has brought you to the sanctum of the Omnissiah?
I'm here to collect you. I'm under orders from the Lord Inquisitor to offer any assistance you may require, after which I am to provide you safe passage to football aboard my ship.
Then the timing of our meeting is fortuitous. I am requisitioning you and your retinue for my task.
Alright, let's see what we got here.
Requisitioning? Young man, your choice of words is unseemly to the point of insult. You're addressing a rogue trader.
I don't imagine you'll be any happier if I say taking into inquisitorial custody.
To aid his faithful servant in the fight against corruption is the solemn duty of all whose actions affect millions of the Imperium's subjects. Let your example guide those who will carry the Emperor's light across 1,000 stars.
You are familiar with the works of Inquisitor Alistar the Redeemer. Not every acolyte can say the same, let alone people less initiated. Please forgive my lapse in manners, Lady Navigator Orselio. It is a great honor. I came to Rykad Minoris on a mission, which a rebellion prevented me from fulfilling. The governor is convinced that malcontents from among the rabble were the instigators, but I immediately suspected a more sinister presence at the root of the mutiny. My visit to the monastery and a few unhurried conversations with some of the rebels confirmed my suspicions. Someone by the name of Aurora is leading the rebellion. Data indicates that the head of the cultists is here right now, in the sanctum of the ancient reactor. Given the prophecy of the final dawn, and the especial efforts made by the enemies of humanity to seize the monastery, their goal is to gain access to the holy power source's control circuit and trigger a process that, once started, cannot be stopped. In other words, to detonate the reactor, thus being themselves the cause of their much-touted final dawn.
Blasphemous insanity.
Precisely what were you doing at the monastery? I'm taking you to the ship now. I can help you with that. Let's see. Precisely what were you doing at the monastery?
I arrived here with an escort squad, only to lose it in our very first open skirmish. The monastery is swarming with heretics. The soldiers I requisitioned from the governor fell in battle, bled to death, or deserted. I had to make do with catching and forcefully interrogating individual rebels. It is from them that I learned what I relayed to you just now.
What'd you do to him?
I convinced him to cooperate. I can influence living bodies, and I find that the interrogated are much more eager to share information once the blood starts to boil in their veins.
Alright, I can help you. Let's join forces.
Thank you. Regrettably, the governor's people showed themselves to be unprepared for the perils of this place. And extracting blade shards from a person's stomach is beyond my powers. I hope that a rogue trader's retinue will prove more capable than a group of soldiers fresh off the base. I am positive that not all of the electro-priests within these walls have perished. The heretics spoke of shadows emerging from side alleys to make short work of the cultists invading their abode. I surmise that the entrance to their hiding place is somewhere in the hall, near a machine known as the Circular Cogitator. I imagine it's one of the local sacred relics which the electro-priests treat with special piety.
What is this dude? Well, except alright, let's upgrade this man. He's a warrior too. Let's go contempt. Oh, contempt. Center of slaughter. Oh, he has some different stuff. Purge soul. Why can't we get this? He already has this feature. Where? I don't see it. Every time the cycle deals damage, they gain 1 stack. There we go. Dang, we got a whole bunch for this dude. Let's see. He's definitely different than everybody else. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop this episode here. We're almost at an hour again, so let's just go and pick up this stuff. And then once we get back, we'll go ahead and do the mission with Heinrichs. And what's the journal say we got to do? We got to reach the reactor, so that's going to be our next mission, reach the reactor. I appreciate you guys for coming and checking out the video. So far, this game I've been enjoying it, so I'll probably keep uploading as much as possible. You guys let me know what you think about it. Please hit that like, subscribe, share the video if you know anybody that likes this content. With that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.